5:59. So welcome students. So again we are continuing with some topics to make this live chat interesting. The topic is how to study effectively. How to study effectively, or how to make an impact in studies, not only in mathematics, in all the subjects which you do it. So studies is once in a lifetime. It's not that you're going to study again and again. So studies comes in a particular period of life. So how to study effectively is, I told you yesterday, and some of the points we'll just go through it. From first to fifth standard, you have to work out what is given in the school. You have to do the daily homework given by the teachers to improve your knowledge, your foundation, because they are trained up well. The teachers, the primary teachers, right from LKG, UKG, they go for various kinds of trainings, Montessori teachers training. They know the child psychology till fifth standard. So come home, whatever projects they give, simple projects they give till fifth standard, I've seen. You have to buy one chart consisting of pet animals, chart of wild animals, which you have to stick it. And these kind of things is very what important for children in that age. I'm telling about in a weekly how to study effectively. As soon as you come home, so you can have some snacks or tiffin and wash your face and everything, and you can sit and study. No need of going for any games and all. Saturday, Sunday you can go for games. Okay, because nowadays the thing education is very high. Lot of things to study nowadays. It's not that easy. So what you do is actually when you come home, you work out what the miss has said. From 6th to 10th standard, it's a very important stage of studies in between where they should put a strong foundation. First is the foundation, next is a strong foundation for the future, for the dreams, for the parent dreams, and everything. You have to put a strong foundation. So 6th to 10th, what you do, as soon as I said, if it is a weekday, come home till 9 o'clock you can study. From 5:30 you can sit till 9, and then you can go for dinner and then spend some time. After dinner, don't go to sleep immediately. It's a bad habit. So if you go for dinner 9 to 9:15 or 9:20 till 9:45, you can what? See some television thing on that. Welcome, Abigail. Good evening for joining this program. So, as I told you, if possible, we'll try to connect with some boards of histograms and all. And any doubt also you can ask. And you can tell your neighbors, friends, and well wishes about this program. Okay, we are dealing with the topic how to improve studies, how to study effectively, how to make study interesting, all these things. So if you're in 6th to 10th standard, I told you when you come home at around 4:30 or thing, sit at 5:30. If you want to get a tiffin or a snacks, wash your face, everything, and sit it till 9:15 you can study. Or till 9 o'clock you can study. Then you can go for dinner. If you're between 6th and 10th standard, first work out what has to be finished as homework. That's very important. And don't do the homework in the morning. Morning you can't do anything because you have to submit the homeworks. It'll have some teachers, those marks are counted, your homework marks are counted for internals, like test marks and like They just put you have to submit the homework. So finish the homeworks by 9 o'clock, then go for dinner, spend some time. You can watch some programs or something, or you can have a talk with a friend or anything and go to sleep around 9:45. Morning, if you want, you can do something new for some time, but try to get ready because morning it's very hard to study because the time will pass away very fast. The parents also have to go. If I bring 11th and 12th, higher secondary or PU1, PU2, what you do is you have to split the timings as before dinner and after dinner because there's lots to work out in higher secondary level, PU level. So as soon as you come home, you have to sit. I'm telling for weekdays when you have continuous schools. So you have to work out till 5:30, or you can sit even 5:15 itself till 8:39. Finish your dinner, and after some time again till 10:30, 10:40 you have to work out because higher secondary or PU 11th and 12th there's a lot to study. Then only you can fulfill your dreams of becoming an engineer, doctor, marine engineer, whatnot, aircraft engineer, computer engineer, chartered accountant, whatever it is. So this PU1 and 2 higher secondary level is very important. Where you have to sit even after the dinner. And there should be a kind of what interest or a motivation or a challenging spirit while studying. And go to the bedroom if you don't have a separate place to study. You can sit in a corner and study. Don't get distracted by the speech of your parents or elders. Some may have some grandparents in the house. You just be studying it. It depends upon your mindset and how you take things. If you think there is some disturbance for me, my environment is not good, means naturally you feel the dejected spirit. Just what take it as a challenging spirit. You just concentrate and sit and study. So it'll be very good. And you can post your doubts in the comment box. We'll work out and upload it. Next week, from next week, it's a very minor one. We'll work out. We'll teach you some topics of basics. As you asked, what is rational, what is meant by matrix, what is meant by probability in a board. So then only you can understand what's what. Then telling orally. So practically we are try and show only basics we can work out. Just like including algebra, some basics you can work out. And you should have attention when you study. Good. Thank you. I begin. Okay. Whether it is in a school or in a house, you have to have attention. Anything if you don't have attention, it won't work out. For example, you're doing not only for educational point of view, you're doing some cooking, and if they keep certain what things for cooking in the stove and come off means that's all. So it'll go off. So right from water. So if you keep water to get heated, if you heat off, that will become vapor. It'll get charred. So what is very important is you should have a concentration, attention, and you have to put timetable, a strategy. They say you have to put a strategy. For example, half an hour maths. After finishing half an hour maths, you put a tick. Half an hour science, you put a tick. You get a mental satisfaction if you tick, as if you have accomplished a great thing. So like that, you must have some ideas. Don't do in a lethargic in a mechanical way. Simply just seeing the book and studying and seeing that, seeing that. If you develop these kind of tips which you are telling, in 1 week you'll gain an interest in studies. Nobody can stop you. It will take at least 7 to 8 days if you follow this method strictly. Thing, and also have attention in the class. If you develop the habit in the class, you develop the habit in the house. Ulta, it won't come. Many things we can go home and work out. We'll copy from the guide. We'll ask our friends in the phone and copy it. So you just have an attention in the class what the teacher says. Suppose teacher teaches some five sums. One sum may be hard. That doesn't mean don't leave your concentration for the remaining sums. Try to concentrate on what all she teaches or what all he teaches, and then you can work out, and that's very important. If it's a holiday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is a holiday, unless until it's some religious festival which you have to participate, then it's okay. Even birthdays, you can spend the birthday and study. There's no rule that whole birthday is enjoy, except for some religious festivals you got. You have to go with your parents to a church or a temple or a mosque, you can go it. You have to spend time in it. It's okay. Otherwise, if Saturday, Sunday, Monday holiday, you try to study till 11:15 if you're in the higher secondary, PU 1 and 2. 11:30 till, but don't go till 1 o'clock until 11:30, 11:45, you can go to sleep. If you are in 6 to 10 standard, you can study till 10:30. Till 10 standard, you can go to sleep. Next day, you can get up around morning 7:38, finish your tiffin, finish all your thing, take bath, everything, and you can start studying. Uncle, please talked about mean and median. Mean and median, there are three kinds of mean. As I said, generally I'll try to explain, but next week we may get a board where we'll try to work out what is going to be mean, general idea. Mean is nothing but an average. Mean is done in different methods. What they call average is called a mean. For example, nowadays there's no final exam. Your first term mark in mathematics is 30. Your first term marks in maths is 30 marks. First term or quarterly, you take it whatever. Second term, you take as halfly whatever. Second term mark is 60. First term mark is 30 or first quarterly. Halfly, second term is 60. Third term is actually 50. Third term is 50. Now what they do now, there's no final exam because of this COVID-19. Now what they want, they'll put means they'll add the first term, second term, and third term and divide by 3. That is called mean. In olden days, it was called average, and it's also called arithmetic mean. And mean has got three different types: frequency table, class interval means. So this what I'm telling is basic mean. So everything has got a basic. So find the mean is 1 mark question is there, 2 mark question is there, 5 marks. Actually, the 5 mark question which we do is actually worth a minimum 8 marks. The same mean is asked in BCom for 15 marks. So mean as a gradation. So all mean are not like what I said. So I was telling maths, the final exam was not kept. So what the school does is 30 marks I said. In first I finish mean weight. 30 marks I said. Next I said 50. 50 plus 30 or 40, okay, 50 plus 30, 80. 80 plus 140, 120. So 3 marks they take it and divide by 3. They put the final exam mark as 40 marks. Hope you got what is meant by mean. Mean is nothing but an average. Median has got also 3 times the basic one. The basic one is called this mean, median, and all has got 3 types called random variable or ungrouped data, which is 1 mark and 2 mark, which is very easy. Random variables, they put some numbers as commas: 30 marks, 40 marks, 50 marks, find a mean. Next is called a frequency table, finding arithmetic mean. Next is called a class interval. Same thing, median has got a random variable which is very easy, worth 1 marks and 2 marks. Next is called frequency table, and the last one is called class interval. Class interval medians are very hard. It comes only in higher classes, that too mostly in 11th and 12th or in BCom. So mean, as I said, frequency table, they'll give a frequency and some values, you have to do it. And that is done in 3 different methods also. Okay, so this kind of means as marks, and mean can be done even in graphical methods, mean and medians, to understand. Well, most of them these are done in college levels, like BCom and all. So mean is nothing but an average. For example, a lot of things are called average. Median means you must write in the numbers in ascending order. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I told you in ascending order, but they give the numbers like this: 5, then 1, then 3, then 4, then 2. So we write 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, 5. So the mid value, leave 1 and 5, leave 2 and 4. 3 is called the median. This is called the median of a random variable or an ungrouped data. So this is a basic thing. The mid value when written in a ascending order, median, but these are applied in a lot of practical things. And if you go to BCom or MCom or statistics, basic statistics, and all, you find these kind of things where it is applied. In PU first and second also, if you do commerce, they'll tell you how it is applied, how the production increases in year, which year the wheat production was highest. They give the years 1971, 72, what we saw in a frequency table like that, 72 or 81 to 80 to 85, 85 to 19. How much was production of the wheat in tons? Ton means 1 ton is 1000 kg. So if you put a chart, you can find out which year we had a very good production. From that, they'll have some ideas. So next year, which year, how the production will be, how the pattern is going on. Same thing for weather patterns and irrigation patterns, transforming traffic patterns, everything they put. These kind of statistical things, mean, median, standard deviation, range, variance, and all, applied in various practical things also to do it. But those things they don't teach much in the lower classes, because lower classes they make you fundamental and foundation strong. Suddenly, if you give a become sum, you go mad. You can't think, understand, because many ask that question, sir, where this mean is coming, where this median is coming, why they are troubling this and all. If they give a practical sum, it's a big problem. Even in calculus, they were given some practical sums, some previous syllabus 10 years back was there. And then, because the basic itself they are not thorough, the foundation itself they are thorough, when they give a practical sum, they become more irritated. So what they do in this kind of 11th, usually ninth and 11th are fundamentals and basic. That's why ninth and 11th are very hard and very hard to score a mark. It's very hard to get centum or 100 marks in 11th standard. If 100 students write an exam in 11th standard, one or two or maximum five may get 100 out of 100. But in 12th standard, many will get 100. Even the same case with 10th standard. 10th and 12th are nothing but where ninth is applied for 10th, and 12th is nothing but 11th is applied for. So ninth and 11th you must concentrate more. Generally, ninth and 11th are very dull, dry for learning point of view, teaching point of view, for understanding point of view. But that is the fundamentals which is applied in 10th standard. And the tragedy is many schools jump off the ninth standard. There are private schools in Chennai, straight away they teach 10th standard. There are a lot of residential schools in Tamil Nadu where they get 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs and all. They teach 10th and 12th, they don't teach 11th at all. 12th, they make it work out again and again because the textbook sums are repeated. If there are 10 sums in the textbook, they'll make you to work out the 10 sum 10 times. Somehow they make you to get up at 5 o'clock, these residential schools. It's a kind of torture only. Whether you understand or not, they ask you to work out the sum because the same numbers are repeated in state syllabuses, like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and all. But in other syllabus, ISC, ICSC, and CBSE, and all, different patterns are given. The book is very easy. CBSE book you can complete very fast. If you take the time, you'll be shocked. But that's got a very syllabus which you have to learn from other books you have to buy in the market and practice. And they got different papers also. Your neighbor will have a different paper. The same paper is not given to everyone. So these kind of things vary with various syllabus, and that's the main thing. And regarding the way to study, and try to take test when test comes, to sit and study more carefully. Okay, Monday is the test. When you will study, if Monday is the test, many turn the open the book on Saturday. Maths will surely collapse. Out of 100, one may have a brilliance. Like there was one lady called Sakuntala Devi. Many your eldest parents will know that she was very brilliant. If you give any sum, she will do it immediately. All are not born brilliant. Like Ramanujam was a very brilliant mathematician. You must have heard of him. There are people like Abdul Kalam, I said, who are very brilliant. So everybody can't learn in the last minute. If the test is on Monday, don't open the book on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You'll collapse in the test. Even science subjects, don't think you can mug up and study in the last minute. A lot of questions are asked. It will collapse the unit. They'll ask everything, so you don't come out. Power. What's the definition of power? What is the unit of power? What's the formula for power? There are a lot of sub questions also. Energy. Different kinds of energy are there. Then what is the main form of mechanical energies? Okay, there are a lot of questions in energy. What's the unit of energy? Give some examples. You can't study in the last minute. Don't think science you're going to open. Maths, surely will collapse. So when the exam or a test is on thing Monday, try to make it serious. If you're not able to do 100%, if you're not able to study, you do some good for you. In the sense, study what you can and work out what you do. You have a conscience. Don't say I can't attempt all the questions, only I can attempt five questions. If you work out for five questions and work out that five questions sincerely, you'll be rewarded in the long run. Then it will come for five questions will become six questions. Don't say he's working 10 questions, the miss is putting mark for that. Or only those going for I mean tuition they have put marks. All this are some lame excuses. Many students give that. That girl she's putting mark the same question. I didn't get a mark. This is partial. It may be one or two cases may be there. I don't say all teachers are jumped out from heaven. There may be one or two some partiality may be shown, but you don't worry. You have a conscience and you work out. It may be exceptions. All teachers will be because we also studied school. We also studied college. Directly we didn't come earn a degree. So we also know what is a school, what is a teacher, how they operate, who's a bright student, how they are treated, how we are treated, and what are the things. Some teachers they say did have a background and they teach. If the student gives some gift, comes in a car, under the teacher teaches. So these are some lame. It may be true or thing. We are not bothered about it. A teacher is not coming for a whole life, but try to respect the teachers, honor a teacher. God will bless you. That's always some variations, some weakness or some kind of things you may find 1 or 2 days may be there. That might be due to some reasons which you can't understand. Don't just judge on a teacher. She's like that, she's supporting that one. It's not like that. If a teacher supports a student who's getting very high marks, means that student comes first means the photo will come in the school. You also will be what? So and so student studying in so and so school came first in the state. You also will be proud. That's why the teacher is concentrating on a student who is getting high marks. Don't say the teacher is going and concentrating on students who are high, not concentrating on me. There's all wrong notions, ideas which we have. So these things you have to do. So test comes means be careful. Holidays you work out hard, and then mainly don't postpone things till the eve of the final exams. Final exams, many go like in a cricket they say hit out or get out. So sometimes a player comes in a cricket field. The previous players would not have played well. The player who enters has to get some 100 runs in some 3 or 4 overs. It is impossible. But the pressure is high on him. Sometimes they do it. But I've seen in cricket, many players, they lived up to the mark. They stood for the pressure and done it. It depends upon your mindset. They receive a big ovation. They receive big prizes, commendation. They have spoken even now, like people like Gavaskar. Like that in studies also. What you do is actually you study, you work hard, you'll get it. Okay. Don't do it in the last minute. Study from the thing. A play is different. Play is a chance. How the bowler bowls. Bowls. Suppose if the batsman hits the ball for six, and suppose a player misses a catch, that's all different. But studies don't go till the last minute. Is tuition necessary or compulsory? Tuition is necessary or compulsory for not all the subjects. Only if some subjects you're weak, you can take the tuition. Point number one. There will be topics which you're very not able to understand. So ask the teacher or the class teacher or the tuition teacher to teach the topic. See, sets is a topic in mathematics. Anybody can understand. Just draw round. and you have to mark things. Sets, So certain things are very, very, very easy. That for the tuitions are not necessary. Some topics are very hard, even not only for a student, even a teacher who teaches a topic. Some topics are very, very hard. Out of 100 students, only 5 to 10% will understand integration, permutations and combinations. There are a lot of topics in higher studies. Very hard for teaching point of view also, not only studying or understanding point of view. Those topics you can go for a tuition. But you tell the teacher, a tuition teacher or a class teacher, I can pay the fees, I want only this topic. They tell me. Many girls tell me, yes, also we're teaching some easy topic because we just made a start with the online coaching for a 12th standard girl. I said, I'll just make this topic, I'll finish it. She said, they've finished it, no problem. I'll just finish in 2 or 3 days because that topic fetches some 14 marks in the final exams, I told you. And it's a double area, I told you, to test your knowledge, what she has learned it. But generally, if you're very weak in some topic, you can join tuition. All topics cannot be understood in a classroom if there are 15 in a classroom. Some topics need one-to-one explanations because the IQ or the understanding capacity or the capability of all persons are not same. Some of them can understand immediately. Some of them can understand if they change the method of teaching, give some example. Some of them can understand only after 2 or 3 4 sums. Some of them, if they can't understand permanently unless until somebody takes a personal attention on them, like a tuition teacher or a class teacher or somebody in the house. Some topics are very hard. Integration is a little hard topic. Many don't understand in PU second year. It's one of the hardest topics, but it's very easy if you do it systematically. Very interesting and a challenging topic. Calculus itself is a little tough, which comes in higher classes. Algebra, why you go to calculus? Algebra, there are students suffering from fifth standard, sixth standard. The parents will say that algebra is to my daughter is studying, struggling with plus and minus. She can't think understand. She has done Humpty number of sums. Welcome, Deepak. How to keep the timing in exam? It's a good question. The exam comes means you must not practice in the exam timings. Before the exam, you must work out question papers. If you are in 12th standard, if you are in 10th standard, government question papers are available in the market. 5 years question papers, 3 years question paper, extra question paper, practice question papers, and then what? Question papers given by the state government for practice from the Department of Education. These question papers you must get and practice and maintain the time. If you maintain time, at least half a dozen question paper minimum, you must work out 6 papers. Maximum, you must work out 12 question papers and see whether you are able to finish the question papers in time. If it is a 3 hour question paper, it consists of 1 mark, 2 marks. It depends upon the selection of questions, what we select, and other things. So you have to do it actually. And if you like this program, you can press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also press the bell button for any future uploads and tell your friends, neighbors, and others. And we are having a Google Meet where we are teaching regular online classes. If you're interested, you can join. There's one more YouTube channel, Excel Maths Study, where we have uploaded some videos of some sums. You can see through it and go through it. For time being, we are not going for any home tuitions because of the COVID-19 spreading. So next is what? You must have a understanding. If you can't understand a thing, there are 3 ways. The best way I tell you, the worst way is actually mugging up. Mugging, it will go off. Don't mug up things if you don't understand the problem. Second is writing 2 or 3 times or 5 times. That is slightly better. That's also wrong. Suppose what is energy? What is unit? What are the kinds of energy? If you can't understand, if you write 4 times, it will come. Writing makes things more thorough than mugging. But best thing is to try to understand and learn. If there are 10 questions, 5 or 6 you can understand. Two questions are very hard to understand. I challenge you. You write 5 times and see, you'll understand 50%. You write 5 times the question. Physics question also, you write 5 times, you'll understand 50 to 70%. So write and see 5 or 10 times. 5 times at least if you don't think understand an identity or a formula, but don't mug up. You'll forget in the exam. That's a big problem. So you can ask some questions. There's still more time. Any doubt or anything to make this live chat interesting? You can give us some topics, some ideas, not only about studies, about anything. For example, in this COVID-19 days, pandemic days, don't forget to wash your hands whenever you come home or go out, and try to keep a distance in the class or anywhere. Wear mask and don't go to crowded place. Some three students are sitting and discussing something. Don't go and sit with them. Of course, now the schools are closed. I'm not only telling about the students' school. For example, many are going to tuitions nowadays, or there are neighboring homes they are going. Be careful when you go because it's spreading fast. Because you become a carrier of the germ to others, to your parents, your neighbors, and it becomes a problem not only for you, for others. Because children of any age they're getting this COVID-19. So try to be careful. It's a very because it's spreading faster. So I'm giving this as an advice in this live chat. Chat apart from it studies. Okay, now about Abhishek Raj, how to improve memory power. Generally, they say in those days you must eat lot of vegetables, especially vegetables like lady's finger. I don't know how far it's true, whether it's scientifically or medically proved, but they say like that. There were big biscuits also, memory biscuit. I think its name is some something. I don't know how far it's true. Some doctors prescribe. The memory comes mostly by writing, by watching, by moving with people who are good in the sense, good in knowledge, good in understanding. If you move with a person who is just like a what, weak person, fit for nothing person, then your memory goes off. How to understand a sum. I don't know what you mean by understand a sum. Read the question 2 or 3 times. Read the question. Many question will have 2x, the right as 3x. In my 30 years experience, I've seen it. A lot of cases I can show you. Question will be 2x plus 3y. They'll write 3x plus 3y. Because the 3y they put x for x also. So read the question 2 or 3 times and I think understand it. Above all, um, what the question says, mathematical formulas and all, you try to think understand it. And for example, the same question can be asked in different ways, whether it's science or maths also. Same question. Solve. Find the value of x and y. Same question only. Solve means you have to find the value of the unknown letter. Sometimes they ask find x and y, calculate x and y. So simple questions they can change in different ways. It's very popular. Even in science, it's very popular. So you have to read the question 2 or 3 times and do it. And don't go to your smartphones or TV or laptops when you're studying. When you fix a study time, don't try to have a distraction suddenly. And don't make a phone call to your friend. I want to check this question. I want to check the portions, whether it's in the portions. First, you learn what is there in the portions, and then you can check your friend what is there not in the portions. So that is very, very important. And complete some notes. Many students they don't complete the notes given by the teacher. If you open the notes, the topic will be mechanics. The topic will be light. The topic will be sound. Only half the notes will be there. Just 4 days before the exam, they'll try to write all the notes. When you write the notes, when you will complete and when you will study. So it won't work out at all. So try to finish the notes. Suppose if you're not able to complete the notes daily, Saturday, Sunday is a weekly holiday or Sunday is a holiday. Get your friend's notebook and try to finish it. Don't postpone. Don't postpone till the quarterly exams, half-yearly exams, revision exams. Many students, some students I've seen, they won't write till half-yearly. On full notebook, they won't write. Then some friend will say, "You write it. My note is very important notebook. Since you're my close friend, I'm giving this. That will be some 50 pages to write. Copy and give me in 3 days." You know what the student will go? The boy or girl give to the mother. The poor mother writes everything. I've seen a lot of cases. This is not the way to do things. So what you do is you try to put the family. You try to work out the things regularly, systematically, on the spot. On the spot means as far as possible do it in the class itself. Suppose a class ends, there's something in the board. You couldn't complete it. The other teacher may take 5 minutes to come in. You try to finish that. Ah, she has gone. So I'll chat with the neighbor. Don't do those things. What are the types of matrix? So matrix and all we are planning to have a board because you can't teach matrix consists of rows and columns. So if I say rows are horizontal, some people don't know what is horizontal unless until I draw and show. Columns are vertical. Some people know what is called vertical. So basic of mathematics can be taught only if there's a board. So from Monday we are planning to use a board and teach like minimum what is meant by matrix. So just by words I can't say it consists of horizontal something, some story that master was telling. It was interesting. That's all. And again, you can't understand what is matrix, types of matrix, and all. What's square matrix? Square matrix has got 2 rows and 2 columns. So next from Monday, we'll try to put off those things in. And if possible, we'll try to do more time also. 1.5 hours or 2 hours also. You can even have weekly 3 days and spend more time on it. So that next day you can work out those sums and ask some doubts on it. Simple sums. A matrix is a big topic. Matrix comes even in, if you go to postgraduate, MSc also matrix comes. We'll do simple matrix. It comes in ninth standard, 10th standard, 11th, 12th, college, undergraduate, postgraduate. It's a very big ocean. Each topic is a very big ocean. Don't think matrix comes only from for your class. It comes for higher level also. But the basics we can teach something. So we try to do that. Saturday, Sunday we are planning to do some adjustments. Whether you could connect a board because we don't have some cables and other things. Now it's hard to go. The markets are closed. Some markets are sealed because of COVID-19. Explain natural and irrational numbers. Natural and irrational numbers. There are six kind of numbers. Natural number, whole numbers. With a diagram, you can teach it. You can understand well. Now I tell orally, but Monday I'll teach you what more. This thing. This is what I want to first start first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are called natural numbers. They denote by the symbol n. And one is the element e and all you must put it, and you can draw diagrams and all for it. After natural number, there is whole numbers. There are integers, positive and negative integers. Then there are rational numbers, and finally there's irrational number. There are what real numbers. So all these are quite easy, basic only. If you tell orally, only 5% you can understand unless until you are extraordinary brilliant. So what I'll do is I will try to connect it on Monday in a board. Even matrix will try to connect it, and even mean median. Basic will connect it. I told you mean median comes even for MCOM, Master of Commerce. It comes. So there's a lot of levels in that. Some basic levels will teach, and you can also ask your doubts or put in the comment box. Tell your friends, neighbors, and well wishes. You can press the bell button and subscribe this channel. And also we are having a Google Meet channel where if you want regular coaching, you can tell your friends or thing others. to contact or email. And studying biology. Biology has diagrams. I don't know how many of good in diagrams. I don't know about Abhishek, Deepak, Abigail. If you're good in diagram, see, I tell you one secret. If many students they want to go to medical and all, the diagram should be well because the marks in biology is seen thing. So diagrams occupy some 15 to 20 marks. Similarly, if you're studying, see, I mean history, social science, history must know the map. History and geography, you must know the map. Maps. Some state governments for 10 maps they fetch 15 marks out of 30 marks, 35 marks. I'm not exaggerating. There are syllabuses, state syllabuses, even some central syllabus. If you mark in a map, they'll give you 5 marks, 10 marks also. Minimum 5 marks. They give some syllabus give 10 marks. So these kind of drawings, you must be thorough. Even maths has got drawings. I said coordinate geometry or analytical geometry has got a lot of drawings. Certain topics don't have drawings. So natural numbers are nothing but one, two, three, four, like that are called natural numbers till infinity. It goes on. If you join zero with it, it's called whole numbers. Then minus and plus comes, it's called integers. If a fraction comes, it's called rational and irrational. Also, as I told you, we'll try to explain pictorially while doing in a board thing. And how to improve memory power. Don't sleep too much. Some people they sleep. They sleep at go to sleep at 9 o'clock and get up at morning 7 o'clock. And if it's a holiday, they sleep in the afternoon, sleep in the night. So that will reduce your memory power. Don't concentrate more on what? Entertainments, laptops, TVs, phones, smartphones, and whatnot. Roaming, phoning to others, chatting, sitting with the elders and chatting, doing unwanted things, poking the nose in some unwanted things. This will reduce memory power of studies. Studies will go. So to improve memory power, first of all, you need a concentration, you need attention, you need a challenging spirit, you need a strategy and whatnot. You need a schedule. You must be an optimist, positive attitude. Simply by learning a lecture like me, or simply by what? Studying something you can't do it, you must attempt that things. For some people, these kind of ideas and lectures go in one year and come out in another year. They forget it. Some people they follow the lectures. What the teacher says in the classroom, some advice, some counseling. The teacher or the headmaster they come to the class and give some counseling advice when the school reopens. That's all. First day they hear, next day that's gone with the wind. Those things will reduce memory power. So what they said is for what? To improve memory power. Too much eating also what? Some people stuff the stomach with what? Eating like that. So that also what? Makes you dull. And memory power is increased by doing some exercises also. You have to practice exercises, running, but same time you concentrate in study also. Some people concentrate more on exercise. Running means they go to running, they come home and sleep off. That should not be there. So if it's a holiday, morning you sit and study till 4 o'clock. Then 4 to 6 you can go for running, do some exercise, go to gym, nothing wrong. But don't do first and then stop your studies. So it's a very important one. Thank you for all these ideas you're asking. That's why this chat is lively. Chat, what you're doing is. And about, I was telling about drawing. I don't know how we're good at drawing. Some people can't even draw a flower. Flowers, petals, leaves. a tree with a stem, bark, insects, a lot of things are there. Human parts, small intestines, big intestines. There are a lot of things in biology, zoology and botany. Animals you have to draw. So things are there like that. So try to develop drawing if you're going for a science group. In this case of students who are going for accounts and all, try to learn from the beginning for a thing thoroughly, so that you can make the balance sheet quite easy. The balance sheet is the final part of a question, where the other parts, if you weak, you're finished. Splitting debit and credit and other things. So certain studies which you want, you must make yourself thorough. Those who want to go for mechanical engineering, like aeronautics, marine engineering, machinery studies, you must be thorough with the machine parts which you have to do. And these holidays don't waste time. We don't know when the school will reopen or the college will reopen. So try to utilize these holidays. Don't roam here and there. Boys are it's not good also. Yesterday also it came in paper, one boy was taking his father's bike and he seized the bike. So these kind of problems are very unnecessary problem for the parents. Which all graph is important in 10th standard? There are only two kinds of graphs are there. And one is simultaneous and one is quadratic graph. Graphs are very important. They give a choice sometimes. Generally, you must see the question. Suppose if you draw a chart to draw a graph, if it contains fractions and all, little hard, decimals and all. So if it's a easy graph, quadratic is easy means do quadratic. If simultaneous is easy means do simultaneous. And statistics graphs are all graphs are easy that you can do. Some syllabus have both statistics graph and algebraic graph. That's why I said algebra has got 50% marks in some syllabus. Algebra is very, very, very important till that extent, including graph, some things are there. You have to do it. So graph is also very important. Graph is a score mark. And even geometry, construction. There are questions in construction. Keep the scale correctly, measurements you must keep correctly. In construction, if you must draw a rough figure, draw a triangle, draw a triangle. In my days, rough figure will fetch 1 mark. So draw a rough figure. I'll show you afterwards. Draw a rough figure, you must put what all is given, and then draw the triangle. Otherwise, you have to rub the page again and again, it will become shabby. Rough from the rough figure, you can draw it. I said rough figure will give us 1 mark in those days. And without rough figure, they won't put marks also. Rough diagram. Working also, you must show carefully. Maths and all, so you must have a what? Separate column to work out. So like that, you have to do a lot of things. So you must be thorough with these things. What you learn it. And coming to how to make study effectively, you have to be what? Avoid any distraction. Any distraction. A simple distraction going out. Some ambulance goes, wine makes a sound. They'll close the study. It's not at all contributing. Somebody is sick, that ambulance is rushing them. They're listening where this ambulance is going, where the sound is coming from. And sometimes two ambulances come finished. Oh, something's happened. It is not at all a bother issue. Neither your doctor nor your health worker. Okay, simple example I'm telling for distraction. Some distraction. Some two of them are fighting in the road. You get distracted. You're not going to stop a fight. which is not at all connected with you. So there should not be any distraction to study effectively. Then wandering of mind. Some people, the eyes will be in the book, they'll be studying, but the mind will be somewhere. Nothing will go in your mind. So these things you must try to avoid. And this talk is from Monday to Friday, 6 to 7. Next week, we'll try to make more time, uh, like 1 to 2.5 hours. We'll try to connect to the board to make you understand some basic questions. Orally, you cannot understand all the answers. What is a matrix is very hard to understand unless until I tell what is horizontal, what is vertical. All won't have the same grasping power to understand those things. So we should do it in the board, which will do it. We'll try to connect it. And or we'll work out in the board and then I'll try to, if you see it, you can note down and then we'll try to explain to it. Online coaching is quite easy because that just comes on the screen. It's based on YouTube. There's some problem in just introducing the camera or introducing the board with myself sitting. For that and all, there's a lot of accessories. Some of them are quite costly. Some of them are not available nearby. So you must go to the main market. Those main markets are closed because of the spreading COVID-19. Anyway, there's plenty of time. I think there's a lot of time. We'll make it. So tell your friends, neighbors, and well-wishers. Try to join us. I'm very happy. A lot of interesting questions have been asked. And if you're not able to explain properly, uh, around 70% we are able to explain because of the non-availability of board. Otherwise, you can explain 100%. You can also improve your doubts thing. Uh, and to improve study effectively, finally, many have friends who study well. You can go and get their help, no doubt. There's nothing harm in it. But try to follow the teacher. She knows what will come in the exam, how to write, because she goes for correction. 10th standard, 12th standard correction, who goes? Your class friend goes for correction? No. They know how to correct. They have a key. The government will give a key. For example, what is velocity, what is speed, and there must be a word called rate. Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration, like that. Rate of change of distance is called speed. So the key will say check whether the word rate is there. If the word rate is not there, reduce half a mark. You may write stories about speed, what you know. Some best book, something from the net you can take, but that won't fetch you marks in the government because 8 lakhs are writing. So government has a pattern that your teachers knows well. So to study effectively, don't think you can go to some bright student and learn from here. You can ask some doubts, but she can't be your guide. I told you yesterday, just like what. So bright student, you can have friendship is better. She can teach you certain things, but watch the class and ask guidance from the teachers. They know better. That's why they're trained for that. So that's very, very important. You have to do it. That's the main thing. And practice test, I said, understand, attention class, complete the notes, motivation, concentration, a lot of things I was telling about this, scoring high marks effectively. Finally, it is your optimistic mind. You must not be a pessimist. So you must not have a what? Spread that what? I will fail. I won't get maths. I can't study. Only she can't study. She can study. Only he can study. It won't come for me. I'm below average. I can't do that. If you have this kind of mindset, you'll be failure in life. So everything depends upon your attitude. Pessimist, ap- optimist attitude. Don't try to be pessimist. In the sense, having a what? A no confidence spirit on you. At the same time, you must not have overconfidence. That's also wrong. I can do that, I can do this. I'll get 90 marks, I'll get just like that 100 marks. I won't sit and study. If you study in the last minute, I'll get marks. Probably one time you would have been successful. Some students will get, I told you, good marks in quarterly. They think half-yearly same type. Half-yearly the portions are heavy. When the portion increases, marks come down. It's simple logic. Again, I repeat. When the portions increases, marks will come down. Quarterly was only 3 chapters. Half-yearly is 6 chapters. Finished. So don't have overconfidence also. Don't be lethargic and don't be what lazy. So try to be alert and this age to study. So study effectively. Once you get high marks, you get interested and then you won't leave it. There are students who don't leave the first rank from sixth standard. I've seen. My daughter used to say some student will always come in first rank or second rank. If they miss the first rank, they'll come in second rank. Next time they come first rank. After some time they'll come to what? Second rank, sixth standard, seventh standard, eighth standard, ninth standard, tenth standard. It goes on. So you must maintain the tempo. It can be easily maintained if you follow all these tips I gave you. So tomorrow also we'll have it. If you have any topics, you can tell us. After tomorrow, so Monday, we'll make some arrangements to make you to understand more, to make this eye chart with some pictorial diagram forms and explanation forms, then orally. And you can tell your friends well wishes. Don't forget. And thank you again once again for Abigail, Deepak Samson, Abhishek Raj, and others. And tell your friends or others they can watch this video afterwards also. Not necessary, we should come between 6 and 7. You can tell when master is giving good advices, he'll clear the doubts, everything. You can tell your friends. You can give this Excel maths online classes, this thing to the students. You can give them to come and watch this video. So thank you students for joining and you tell your friends.